Wisdom seekers, pause for a moment. Reflect on the countless stories of love you've been told. The romantic epics, the tales of unrequited passion, and the seemingly noble pursuit of the one. Society glorifies this chase as if it is the ultimate purpose of life, the highest of all human endeavors. But what if I told you this pursuit is nothing but an illusion, a distraction from the clarity, peace, and strength you are capable of achieving? Consider this. The ancient Stoics, philosophers whose wisdom has endured for centuries, never championed the relentless pursuit of love. To them, this chase was not a virtuous endeavor, but a source of turmoil and needless suffering. In their writings, they taught us how to distinguish between what is within our control and what lies beyond it. Love, true, genuine love, cannot be captured or controlled, and yet we are taught to chase it, to cling to it, as though our very identity depends on it. Have you ever stopped to question the cost of this pursuit? Not in money or time, but in your peace of mind, your self-respect, and your ability to focus on what truly matters. Each moment spent chasing something outside yourself is a moment stolen from your growth. The chase promises fulfillment, but often delivers emptiness. It makes you believe that you are incomplete without someone else. But the truth is, no person can complete you, because you are already whole. Today, we will delve into 10 profound reasons why you should stop chasing love. But this isn't merely advice. It's a journey into self-mastery, grounded in the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. Along the way, we'll unearth truths about human nature, explore the depths of our emotions, and illuminate the path to a life of greater fulfillment. The Stoics believed that true power lies in understanding yourself, in mastering your mind, rather than trying to control the uncontrollable. Love, like the tides of the ocean, flows naturally when you align with your values. It cannot be forced, it cannot be chased. And that is where we will begin. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't yet. Every like, subscribe helps us continue our mission of sharing knowledge. Ready to unlock more wisdom? So, let's embark on this journey together. Reason 1. The chase makes you a slave to desire. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, one of Stoicism's greatest advocates, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Think about what this means in the context of chasing love. When you pursue love obsessively, you hand over your power to something external, something you cannot control. Chasing love isn't an act of strength, it's an act of surrender. You are no longer the master of your own mind. Instead, you become a slave to your desires, constantly seeking validation, affection, or the fleeting excitement of romantic attention. To the Stoics, this loss of autonomy is the very definition of weakness. They taught that our desires, left unchecked, can dominate and destroy us. Imagine this scenario. You meet someone who captivates your attention, and immediately your thoughts revolve around them. You replay every interaction, analyze their every word, and speculate endlessly about their feelings toward you. Your sense of self-worth becomes tethered to their responses. If they text you, you feel elated. If they don't, you spiral into self-doubt. What has happened here? You've handed over the keys to your emotional state, giving them to someone who, like all people, is unpredictable, fallible, and often unaware of the weight you've placed upon them. You've turned yourself into a beggar for scraps of affection, all while neglecting the vast inner world of strength and tranquility that lies within you. Epictetus, another great Stoic philosopher, warned us of this trap. He said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." When you chase love, you place your happiness and sense of fulfillment in the hands of another. You are no longer free. Instead, you're bound by the chains of expectation, longing, and attachment. Desire, when left unchecked, is insatiable. It grows like a fire, consuming everything in its path. The more you chase, the further away your goal seems. This isn't a coincidence, it's the nature of desire itself. The chase creates a mirage, a fantasy that love, once attained, will solve all your problems, fill all your voids, and make you whole. But no one can live up to this expectation, and no relationship can sustain the weight of such relentless need. True love, if it is to be found, is born out of a place of inner stability and strength, not desperation. The Stoics remind us that the only desires worth pursuing are those aligned with virtue and reason. Ask yourself, Does the chase for love make you virtuous? Does it bring you closer to the person you aspire to be? More often than not, the answer is no. The chase distorts your priorities, weakens your resolve, and distracts you from the pursuits that truly matter: your growth, your purpose, and your mastery of self. It's time to reclaim your freedom. Reason 2. The chase diminishes your self-worth. There is a subtle yet profound truth about human relationships. The more you pursue something or someone, the more you signal to yourself and to the world that you are lacking. The act of chasing inherently implies that you do not believe yourself to be enough as you are. Seneca, the great Roman philosopher, wrote, "If you live in harmony with nature, you will never be poor. If you live according to opinion, you will never be rich." To chase love is to live according to opinion. It is to seek external validation to compensate for an internal sense of lack. This, my friends, is a recipe for endless dissatisfaction. When you chase someone, you place them on a pedestal, elevating their importance above your own. You idealize them, imagining that their presence in your life will bring you happiness, security, and fulfillment. But in doing so, you diminish yourself. You forget your own value, your own capabilities, and the fact that you are already complete. Consider this analogy. Imagine a king who abandons his throne to chase after a wandering vagabond. The king believes that by winning the favor of the vagabond, he will somehow become richer, happier, or more fulfilled. But in reality, the king only exposes his own insecurity and loses the respect of his people. The same principle applies when you chase love. You are the king of your own life. Why abandon your throne to pursue what may not even serve your highest good? This dynamic often plays out in subtle ways. Perhaps you find yourself over-analyzing every interaction, wondering if you said the right thing or acted the right way. You bend over backward to accommodate someone else's desires, neglecting your own needs and boundaries. You may even begin to change yourself, your appearance, your behavior, your values, all in the hope of becoming more appealing to the person you are chasing. But let me ask you this: at what cost? Each time you compromise your authenticity, you chip away at your self-worth. Each time you seek external validation, you reinforce the belief that you are not enough. The more you chase, the more you lose touch with the person you truly are. The Stoics understood the importance of self-respect and inner alignment. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Never esteem anything as of advantage to you that will make you break your word or lose your self-respect." When you chase love, you often sacrifice these very things: your integrity, your principles, and your self-respect, all for the fleeting hope of winning someone else's affection. This is not to say that love itself is unworthy. Far from it. Love, when it arises naturally and from a place of mutual respect, can be one of life's greatest joys. But the chase is not love. It is a distortion of love, rooted in insecurity and fear. When you cease chasing, something remarkable happens. You begin to value yourself. You recognize that your worth is not dependent on another person's attention or approval. You start to attract people who respect you for who you truly are, rather than who you are pretending to be. This shift is not merely external, it is a profound transformation within. Stop chasing, and you will rediscover your power. You will remember that you are the prize, not the pursuer. You will reclaim your self-worth, and in doing so, you will create the conditions for genuine, reciprocal love to flourish. Reason 3. The chase distracts you from your purpose. Wisdom seekers, consider this. What is the ultimate purpose of your life? Is it to grow, to create, to lead, to discover your potential? Or is it to endlessly chase fleeting desires? The Stoics believed that a life worth living is one aligned with purpose, one in which your actions reflect your highest values and your mind is focused on what truly matters. When you chase love, however, you veer off this path. The chase becomes a distraction, pulling you away from the pursuits that give your life meaning. Seneca wisely stated, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. And there is no greater waste than spending your precious time obsessing over someone else's affection, sacrificing your ambitions, and neglecting the work that could bring you lasting fulfillment." To chase love is to expend your energy on something that is inherently beyond your control. It's like trying to hold water in your hands. It slips through your fingers no matter how tightly you grasp. And yet, how many of us devote hours, days, or even years to this futile pursuit? Think of the mental energy consumed by the chase, the endless analysis of text messages, the constant strategizing over how to win someone's attention, the emotional highs and lows that leave you drained and distracted. This energy could be spent building something enduring: your career, your health, your skills, or your legacy. The Stoics believed in the concept of eudaimonia, often translated as flourishing or living well. To flourish is to live a life of purpose, guided by reason and virtue. It is to rise above the trivial pursuits that lead to frustration and focus instead on the work that aligns with your inner calling. Marcus Aurelius urged, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have work to do as a human being." This work, wisdom seekers, is not found in the chase for love. It is found in the pursuit of your potential. Imagine the person you could become if you redirected the energy you spend chasing love into developing yourself. What books could you read? What skills could you master? What impact could you make in the world? When you focus on your purpose, something extraordinary happens. The right people naturally gravitate toward you. People are drawn to those who have a clear sense of direction, a strong sense of self, and a life filled with meaning. You don't need to chase love because love in its truest form will find you. So ask yourself, what is more important to you? The fleeting thrill of the chase, or the enduring fulfillment of living a purposeful life? The answer is clear. Stop chasing and start creating. Reason 4. The chase breeds emotional dependence. Picture this. You are running after someone, desperate for their attention. With every step, you become more entangled in a web of emotional dependence. You need their validation to feel good about yourself. You need their affection to feel worthy. You need their presence to feel complete. This is the inevitable result of chasing love. It binds your emotional well-being to the whims of another person, leaving you vulnerable and powerless. Epictetus warned us against this trap when he said, "Seek not that the things which happen should happen as you wish, but wish the things which happen to be as they are, and you will have a tranquil flow of life." Chasing love sets you up for disappointment because it places your happiness in the hands of something you cannot control, another person's feelings and actions. When you chase, you give up the reins of your own emotional state. You allow your mood to be dictated by how someone else treats you. If they respond positively, you feel elated. If they pull away, you spiral into despair. This roller coaster of emotions is not love, it is dependence. And dependence is the antithesis of the Stoic ideal of inner freedom. The chase also amplifies your insecurities. Every moment of uncertainty, every unanswered text, every ambiguous gesture feeds your self-doubt. You begin to question your worth, your desirability, your adequacy. This cycle erodes your confidence and blinds you to the truth. Your value is not determined by someone else's perception of you. The Stoics understood that true strength lies in self-sufficiency. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Look well into yourself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if you will always look." This strength is found in your ability to regulate your own emotions, to find contentment within yourself, and to remain steadfast in the face of external turbulence. To chase love is to abandon this strength. It is to trade your emotional independence for a fragile sense of connection that can be taken away at any moment. But when you stop chasing, you reclaim your power. You learn to find joy in your own company, to take pride in your own accomplishments, and to cultivate relationships that are based on mutual respect rather than neediness. Let go of the chase, wisdom seekers, and you will discover the freedom to live life on your own terms. Emotional dependence will no longer hold you back. Instead, you will stand tall, resilient, and unshakable. Reason 5. The chase is rooted in illusion, not reality. When you chase love, you are not pursuing a person, you are pursuing an illusion. You create a fantasy in your mind, projecting qualities onto someone that may not even exist. This illusion becomes your focus, distorting your perception of reality and blinding you to the truth. The Stoics were masters of discerning reality from illusion. Epictetus reminded us, appearances to the mind are of 4 kinds. Things either are what they appear to be, or they neither are nor appear to be, or they are and do not appear to be, or they are not and yet appear to be. We must learn to distinguish between these. The chase for love falls squarely into the last category. It appears to be something meaningful, but it is not. When you chase someone, you idealize them. You focus on their positive traits, often to the exclusion of their flaws. You convince yourself that they are the key to your happiness, the missing piece in your life. But this idealization is not grounded in reality. It is a projection of your own desires and insecurities. Consider how often the chase leads to disappointment. You finally win the attention of the person you've been pursuing, only to realize that they are not who you imagined them to be. Their flaws, once invisible, become glaringly apparent. The connection you longed for feels hollow and unsatisfying. This is the inevitable result of chasing an illusion. It cannot withstand the weight of reality. The chase also blinds you to other opportunities. While you are fixated on one person, you overlook the potential for genuine connection with others. You may even miss the chance to build meaningful relationships with people who truly align with your values and aspirations. The Stoics taught us to embrace reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. Marcus Aurelius advised, "You have to attend to the task which nature sets you, and stand firm without distraction, and give the right help to others." When you stop chasing love, you free yourself from the grip of illusion. You see people as they truly are, not as you imagine them to be. This clarity allows you to form relationships that are authentic, reciprocal, and deeply fulfilling. Wisdom seekers, the chase for love is a mirage. It tempts you with the promise of happiness, but leaves you wandering in the desert of illusion. Let go of the fantasy and embrace the reality that true love cannot be chased. It can only be discovered. Only then will you find the peace and fulfillment you seek. Reason 6. The chase undermines your inner peace. Wisdom seekers, let us consider this question. What is the value of love if, in its pursuit, you sacrifice your inner peace? The Stoics held tranquility as one of life's greatest treasures, a state of mind achieved by aligning oneself with nature, embracing reason, and letting go of unnecessary desires. The act of chasing love, however, does the opposite. It stirs chaos within you, leaving you restless, anxious, and perpetually dissatisfied. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. But when you chase love, you surrender this power. Your mind becomes consumed by thoughts of the other person, what they think of you, how they feel about you, and whether you are doing enough to win their affection. Instead of mastering your thoughts, you allow them to master you. Imagine the toll this takes on your emotional well-being. You become hypersensitive to every interaction, analyzing and reanalyzing their words, their gestures, and their silences. You ride an emotional roller coaster, oscillating between elation and despair, depending on how they respond or fail to respond. This constant state of emotional turbulence is the antithesis of the peace the Stoics championed. Seneca, ever the voice of reason, advised, "He suffers more than necessary who suffers before it is necessary." When you chase love, you anticipate problems that may never come to pass. You worry about whether they will leave, whether they will choose someone else, or whether they truly care about you. This worry becomes a self-inflicted wound, a weight you carry unnecessarily. And what is the end result of this chase? Even if you succeed in winning their attention, the peace you sacrificed is not easily regained. The habits of anxiety, overthinking, and emotional dependence persist, coloring your relationship and preventing you from fully enjoying what you've gained. But what if you stopped chasing? What if you redirected your energy inward toward cultivating your own peace of mind? The Stoics remind us that tranquility is not something to be found in another person. It is a state we create within ourselves. Epictetus taught, "It is not events that disturb people, it is their judgments concerning them." By changing your judgments, by letting go of the need to chase, you can free yourself from the turmoil of unfulfilled desires. Inner peace is not a passive state. It is an act of courage and discipline. It requires you to prioritize your own well-being, to focus on what you can control, and to trust that the right relationships will come naturally when you are aligned with your highest self. Stop chasing, and you will rediscover the calm that allows you to thrive. Reason 7. The chase weakens your boundaries. When you chase love, You often compromise your own boundaries in the hope of winning someone's affection. You say yes when you want to say no. You tolerate behaviors that conflict with your values. You bend and contort yourself to fit into their world, losing sight of your own needs and desires in the process. This erosion of boundaries is not love. It is self-abandonment. The Stoics believed that a strong sense of self is essential to living a virtuous life. Epictetus urged, "Know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly." This means knowing your values, your limits, and your non-negotiables. It means staying true to yourself, even in the face of external pressures. But the chase makes this difficult. When you are fixated on winning someone over, you prioritize their approval over your own integrity. You may find yourself tolerating disrespect, neglecting your responsibilities, or sacrificing your principles, all in the hope that they will finally see your worth. Think about what this does to your self-esteem. Each time you compromise your boundaries, you send a message to yourself that your needs are less important than theirs. Over time, this erodes your confidence and fosters resentment, both toward yourself and toward the person you are chasing. Moreover, weak boundaries do not lead to healthy relationships. When you fail to assert your needs, you set a precedent for imbalance. The relationship becomes one-sided, with you giving more than you receive. This dynamic is not sustainable and often leads to feelings of frustration, exhaustion, and unfulfillment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Boundaries are the framework that protects the quality of your thoughts. They allow you to maintain your dignity, preserve your energy, and focus on what truly matters. When you establish and enforce boundaries, you communicate to others and to yourself that you are worthy of respect. Chasing love, however, undermines this foundation. It leads you to believe that love must be earned through sacrifice, when in reality, true love honors and respects boundaries. When you stop chasing, you reclaim the power to set the terms of your relationships. You attract people who value you for who you are, not for how much you are willing to give up. Wisdom seekers, remember this. Boundaries are not walls. They are bridges to authentic connection. By holding firm to your principles, you create the space for genuine, reciprocal love to flourish. Reason 8. The chase stifles your growth. Growth is the essence of life. To grow is to evolve, to challenge yourself, and to become the best version of who you are. But when you chase love, you place this growth on hold. The chase consumes your time, energy, and focus, leaving little room for the pursuits that truly enrich your life. Seneca once said, "As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters." Chasing love, however, is like reading the same page of a book over and over again, hoping the story will change. It keeps you stuck in a loop, preventing you from moving forward and discovering the chapters of your life that lie ahead. Consider how much of your potential is wasted in the act of chasing. Every moment spent obsessing over someone else is a moment not spent building your skills, expanding your knowledge, or pursuing your passions. You become stagnant, trapped in a cycle of longing and frustration. The Stoics remind us that life is short, and every day is an opportunity for growth. Marcus Aurelius urged, "Do every act of your life as though it were the last act of your life." When you chase love, you squander these precious moments, neglecting the work that could bring you closer to your goals. But the impact of the chase is not just external. It stifles your internal growth as well. The more you chase, the more you reinforce patterns of neediness, insecurity, and emotional dependence. These patterns become habits, shaping the way you approach not only relationships but also life itself. True growth requires introspection, discipline, and courage. It requires you to face your fears, confront your weaknesses, and strive toward your highest potential. When you stop chasing love, you free yourself to focus on this growth. You become the architect of your own life, that building a foundation of strength, wisdom, and self-mastery. And here's the paradox. When you prioritize your growth, love often finds you. People are drawn to those who are confident, purposeful, and fulfilled. By becoming the best version of yourself, you attract relationships that are grounded in mutual respect and admiration. Wisdom seekers, the chase is a detour, a distraction from the path of growth. Let it go, and you will find not only love, but also the fulfillment of living a life aligned with your true purpose. Reason 9. The chase creates an unnatural dynamic. Wisdom seekers, have you ever noticed how the act of chasing inherently creates an imbalance in relationships? When you chase, you place yourself in a subordinate position, constantly striving to gain the attention, approval, or affection of another person. This dynamic is unnatural and unsustainable because it contradicts the principles of mutual respect and reciprocity upon which healthy relationships are built. The Stoics believed in the natural order of things, the balance and harmony that arise when we act in accordance with reason and virtue. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Observe how all things are bound together in a natural way, and observe how the motion of things brings about harmony." The chase, however, disrupts this harmony. It creates a lopsided dynamic where one person is elevated as the prize, while the other diminishes themselves in pursuit. Think about how this imbalance affects both parties. The one being chased may feel flattered initially, but over time, they may lose respect for the person chasing them. After all, it is human nature to value that which comes to us with dignity and confidence, not desperation. On the other hand, the chaser becomes consumed by the need to prove their worth, often at the expense of their self-esteem and individuality. Consider this. When you chase, are you truly seeking a connection, or are you seeking validation? The act of chasing often stems from a place of insecurity, a desire to fill a void or prove your value through someone else's approval. But this dynamic is not love. It is a transaction, an uneven exchange that leaves both parties unfulfilled. True love, by contrast, thrives on equality. It is a meeting of two whole individuals who respect and cherish each other as they are. It is not about one person pursuing while the other retreats. It is about walking together, side by side. Seneca advised, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve." The chase prevents this mutual betterment because it begins with a disparity that cannot be easily overcome. By stepping away from the chase, you create space for a natural, balanced dynamic to emerge. You show others and yourself that you value your own dignity and worth. You attract people who appreciate you for who you are, not for how much effort you put into winning them over. This balance is the foundation of genuine connection and lasting fulfillment. Reason 10. The chase distracts you from loving yourself. At the heart of all this lies a profound truth. You cannot truly love another until you learn to love yourself. And yet, the act of chasing love distracts you from this most essential relationship, the one you have with yourself. When you chase, you send a subtle but powerful message to yourself, that you are not enough as you are. You convince yourself that your happiness, your worth, and your fulfillment depend on someone else's presence in your life. This mindset creates a void, a sense of lack, that no amount of external affection can ever truly fill. The Stoics emphasized the importance of self-sufficiency, of finding contentment within yourself, rather than seeking it in external sources. Epictetus famously said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Chasing love enslaves you to the opinions and actions of others, pulling you further away from the freedom that comes with self-acceptance. Consider how the time and energy spent chasing could be redirected towards self-love. Instead of seeking someone else's approval, you could focus on understanding and appreciating your own strengths and qualities. Instead of pining for someone's affection, you could invest in your growth, health, and passions. Self-love is not selfish. It is the foundation of all meaningful relationships. When you love yourself, you set the standard for how others should treat you. You no longer tolerate disrespect, manipulation, or neglect because you know your own worth. You attract people who align with your values because you project confidence and authenticity. Marcus Aurelius urged, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." The same principle applies to love. Waste no more time chasing what love should look like. Be love. Embody it in the way you treat yourself, in the way you interact with others, and in the way you approach life. The paradox is this: when you stop chasing love and start loving yourself, love often finds you. It comes not as a result of your pursuit, but as a natural byproduct of your authenticity and self-respect. This is the kind of love that lasts, not because you work tirelessly to obtain it, but because it aligns with the person you have become. Final thoughts. A life beyond the chase. Wisdom seekers, the chase for love is a seductive illusion. It promises fulfillment, but often delivers only frustration, insecurity, and distraction. The 10 reasons we have explored reveal the many ways in which this pursuit undermines your peace, your growth, and your potential. But more importantly, they illuminate a path forward, a life beyond the chase. The Stoics remind us that love, like all external things, is beyond our control. What we can control is how we approach it, with dignity, patience, and wisdom. When we stop chasing, we free ourselves to focus on what truly matters, our purpose, our growth, and our relationships with ourselves and others. This is not a call to reject love, but to approach it differently. To love without losing yourself. To connect without compromising your values. To give without expecting in return. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Love only what happens. What was destined, no greater harmony." True love is not something you chase. It is something you cultivate, first within yourself, and then with those who are drawn to your light. So, let go of the chase, my friends. Embrace the freedom and fulfillment that come from living a life aligned with your highest self. Trust that the love you seek will find you when the time is right, and when it does, it will be a love that complements, rather than completes, the masterpiece that is your life. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Until next time, remember, the greatest love you will ever find is the love you give to yourself. Stay wise, stay strong, and keep seeking the truth.